When I got home, I learned that everybody was fighting that war. It wasn't just the sailors and soldiers and Marines, it was everybody. They were saving scrap, rolls of tinfoil, they were rationing gas, butter, of all things, which I'd been used to having all I wanted, and they were doing it enthusiastically.
Well, hello, and welcome once again. J76NY here. We are back with Nickel Company in Burden of Command. We are done with Africa, as far as I believe, and we're moving on to what the Cottonbalers have next in store for them, which is probably going to be, I believe, Sicily or Italy. I don't know which one they went to here. We are going to try and aid our platoon here. We've got some replacements that we have to dole out. We've got combat fatigue, and we've got some experience that we need to give out here. So, Grant. And we've only got 5 or 20 prestige to go around, so let's 3 prestige, huh? Yeah, let's give these guys some vets. We do have to get their levels up a little bit. I'm going to give these guys those. I do think you need a little more there. Dearborn, definitely. And then our mortar squad, we can give you 1. And that is about all we can do here. You cost a 10 loyalty, wow. All right. And I'm going to hold on to my other prestige point here. So that's what we're going to do as far as aiding the men go. It's the 8th of March. We are still in Morocco. The chill winter winds of Morocco nips at your cheeks as you jog past the 4-mile marker. Weariness is now an old friend who likes to lurk in your bones. Of course, you're not the only one suffering. The trail ahead and behind is dotted with staggering figures in olive drab. 3rd Division's new CO, Major General Truscott, Lucian Truscott, demands that every man under his command be able to run 5 miles in an hour in full pack from the lowest private to his regimental commanders. Those who can't hack it get sent to other outfits. Truscott isn't the only change to get used to. "20 minutes, old man," Wilson shouts from behind you as he leads his bedraggled 2nd platoon on their own run. "Come on, boys," he shouts to the men behind him. "You gonna let the captain beat you?" That's certainly one way to fire him up. He's still a sergeant at heart. That he is. "Captain, that's you now. That's me." The promotion was inevitable. Lamb's recommendation before his untimely death made the decision easy for regiment. Paperwork came through in January, and Colonel Macon pinned the bars to your collar just before he himself was promoted to Brigadier General. You can only hope you'll measure up to Nickel Company, when Nickel Company, your company, inevitably goes into battle again. All the Purple Hearts will probably help. There's hard fighting over in Algeria. The islands of Corsica and Salonika could be next. It won't keep us here forever. Facing off against the still neutral Spanish in the desert is one thing. Spanish? Okay. Leaving a well-trained unit out of combat is another. The brass will find a use for the 7th. You finished the run with 8 minutes to spare. Not bad, all things considering. However, there is no time to celebrate. First Sergeant Grant, promoted the same day you made captain, awaits anxiously at the door to your CP. There's still a war. Grant gives a courteous nod as he approaches. No rest for the wicked, apparently. Captain, there's a few matters. Firstly, a battalion briefing scheduled for 1200 hours. All platoon leaders and company commanders to attend. You nod. A quick word to Wilson sends him on to inform your other officers of the appointed time. There's the usual paperwork, but that can wait because you've got a reporter asking for an interview. And the new butter bar arrived from stateside this morning to take over 1st Platoon. He's getting settled in and looks green. Damn green. So he's not just seasick. That'll give us +1 to the sarcasm. Even you were green once, First Sergeant. Now then, he better be a quick learner. God, I hope so. Otherwise, we'll be shipping him home in pieces. Reporter can wait. That's the new guy. He looks scared shitless. Your new subordinate turns out to be a chestnut-haired fellow in a brand new field uniform with a duffel bag creases. His eyes wide, shining bright with enthusiasm seen in schoolboys who haven't seen war. Captain! He calls out and offers a parade ground salute as he steps inside your makeshift office. Thompson, Edgar G., 2nd Lieutenant, reporting for duty. The eagerness in his expression is almost painful as he waits for you to return his salute and takes a seat. He hands you his transfer papers with a grin, more suited to a kid running after a good humor truck than a soldier headed for the war. A sniper just shot me. Where are you from, Thompson? Why'd you join the Army? How'd a kid like you become an officer? Where are you from, boy? Piedmont, South Dakota, Captain. Thompson replies after you return the salute. It's a little town just north of Rapid City. My pa's the school teacher there. Okay. Good for you. Pa was too young for the last war, so I guess this is the first time any of us will have ever fought in the Army before. Well, except for my great-granduncle, but he fought for the Confederacy, so we don't talk about him. Why'd you join the Army? It was the right thing to do, Captain. I'm not one for thinking that anything's perfect on this fallen earth, but the United States of America is the closest thing to it. When the Japs hit Pearl Harbor, well, I sure as hell wasn't going to sit by and sit this one out. I'd been thinking about it beforehand, but there's no reason not to afterwards. How'd you get to become an officer? I'm not quite sure myself, Captain. They picked me out not long after I finished basic training and put me in OCS. I'm still not sure why they thought I was officer material, but if being a good officer is the best to serve my country, I mean, I can try hard. Anything else? They told me back home that I was officer material, but I'd be lying like a cheap rug if I said I knew what I was doing. I don't suppose you have any advice for me, do you? You're here to kill the enemy. Don't try to be a hero. Always have a plan and stick to it. He's getting combat fatigue before he even goes into combat. XP plus 20. The first duty is to your men. That gives me a lot of XP right off the bat. Zeal. Idealism advances. Doctrine 20. Realism plus 2. 20 and 2 for realism. Compassion. I'll have him go with this one. If there's anything a new officer needs to remember, it's that when the bullets start flying, the men need a plan they can rely on and a leader who can be trusted to carry it out. I tell him to make a plan and stick to it, as I constantly change my plans and never stick to it. But that's called adapting to the situation, I guess. Or just indecisiveness, depending on your perspective and your opinion of me. I'll try my best, he says. Now we have a battalion briefing. Motion for him to come with you. Okay. You step outside to find your other officers already waiting, or rather listening to a tall, rock-jawed captain. A ranger patch is sewn on his sleeve. Isn't that Captain Lamb? Oh. Cordell Boston. Okay. So he tells me if I want to talk to a no-good drunk, I'd look up your old man. The other captain recounts with an incongruous Harvard drawl, his hands knifing through the air with each word. "Aw, hell, Cord," Wilson asks of the ranger captain. "Would you belt him right away?" "Well, nobody insults my pa and lives with..." Yeah. I socked him right in the kisser. The bastard fell over flat as a bad souffle. I imagine he did not appreciate the fisticuffs. Yeehaw. Wish I could turn the music down a little bit. On the contrary, Lieutenant, he picks himself right up off the floor, laughing like it was just a Tuesday. Ranger recruiters also swaggered into Algerian bars, tendered a few insults, and signed up soldiers pugnacious enough to pick a fight. Lovely story, Captain. It is, the Ranger captain says and offers a salute. I'm Captain Cordell Boston. Wilson here is an old friend of mine. Told me a lot about you and the company. Horrifying stories, I'll bet. Could have been worse for us. Good to meet you, Captain Boston. I'm sure I've taken enough of your time. He nods to each of you in turn. Captain, gentlemen, Sam. Captain Boston departs. Wilson chuckles to himself. Who's this clown? Let's make it quick. I introduce Captain Lieutenant Thompson. Hope you do not mind the rough welcome, Lieutenant. There are many new faces in the officers' mess these days. New company commanders, new regimental commander, even a new CO at battalion. The others nod. Major Cloud has been transferred to the 9th Infantry Division not long after Casablanca. We've barely gotten to know Colonel Eisenhower, his replacement, before he came down with malaria and had to be invalided home. His replacement is probably where there's a briefing today. Let's see. Major Eugene Cloud was killed in action in Tunisia. Oh. Well, that sucks to him. Be him. Does anybody know what the battalion commander's like? The new one, I mean? Skip to the briefing. Let's get on with this. Man inside. The briefing tent is broad-shouldered, strong-chinned, and barely older than you are. That is Lieutenant Colonel John A. Heinges. It's only when you see the rank on his collar that you realize he must be Colonel Heinges. Gentlemen, his sharp eyes fix on your own. I know I might take some getting used to, but I'd like to avoid losing too much time to either dilly or dally. The sooner you fellas know the odds, the sooner you can pass along the breaks to the men who do the work. Understood? Colonel Heinches snaps up a long wooden pointer and steps before the briefing board. There's a lot pinned on there, including a map of Europe's soft underbelly with a bold Army Air Force mark on it. Starting next week, the entire 3rd Infantry Division will begin a new training schedule. In addition to the current hand-to-hand fighting drills, the Army Daily Dozen and long-distance runs will begin amphibious landing exercises and rock climbing practice. Army Air Force was established, first major organization. Yep. Okay. If the training is amphibious and it's not Algeria, since there's rock climbing, it's not Sardinia. If there's long runs, it's not Corsica. It's not Algeria. The others finally remember to take their seats. The new schedule is sunup to sundown. Husky, Operation Husky. That's what it was called. Once the Germans are kicked out of Tunisia, our forces will combine with the British 8th Army, and together we will embark on the next step towards breaking the Nazi stranglehold over Europe. Our next thrust targets the soft underbelly of Hitler's empire. We will land in Sicily. Which wave are we going in? And the 7th Infantry Regiment has the honor of being its spearhead. American troops on board a landing craft assault heading into Oran. These fragile boats. Yep. We will fight the Italians on the beaches. We will fight the Germans inland.
There it was. Sicily.
The deck of the landing craft shifts beneath your boots as you scan the dark of night. There's not a hint of land in sight. Your whole world has been reduced to this metallic bulk of the hull and the stink of salt water mixed with diesel. The faint crash of waves above the ever-present din of diesel engines is the only relief from the monotony. From the enclosed wheelhouse, you watch your company assemble on the open deck before you. Wet and miserable, they form up by platoon. American 7th Army, in the meantime, would land in a broad front along the southern coast from west of Pozzallo all the way to Licata. This would be the westward landing zone. All right, First Sergeant Grant bellows over the thrum of the engines. Let me go through the plan one last time for you jokers in the back. First platoon, 1st and 2nd battalions have gone off ahead to secure us a beachhead. First order of business once we hit the ground is to clear the coastal defenses off the west flank. That'd be the left side for those who forgot your compass in Africa. A few of them probably did. The sunrise will tell them where eastward lies. We will be the westmost invading unit. The men chuckle. If you're wondering how far we have to go, it's not far. You'll see the cliffs plain as day. They're that big. The Italians supposedly have them all wired up. So we got to swing round it and hit them from behind. "Hey, Sarge," comes a familiar voice from the assembled throng. "If we're going around the cliffs, then what's with the ladders?" I know Grant will answer this well. Battalion thinks the Navy might drop us off target. If some of us somehow end up under the cliff, they'll be able to climb up, unless you prefer to do it by hand. Okay. Forget the climbing. I'd prefer a steak dinner and 3 hours alone with Rita Hayworth. Could you order that instead? There'd be better conversation with Hedy Lamarr. Veronica Lake. My guys would have said Mae West. Whatever. A prodigious actress and dancer, blah, blah, blah. First Sergeant steadfastly ignores the interruption and presses on. Our job is to clear a path inland for our AT guns. They will lock down the main highway to... yep. If those guns don't get there, the Krauts can drive their panzers up that road and roll up the whole damn landing. So don't fuck this up. Clear a path inland for our AT guns. Alright. Yes, First Sergeant. The sailing over from Tunisia hasn't been quick or easy. Half the men are sick or close to it. And before you can do anything about it, you have to get them to the beach. The Navy, in its infinite wisdom, assigned you the same guy who drove your Higgins boat in Morocco. He hasn't really been much of a conversationalist during the trip across the Mediterranean, but given how he handled things last time, you're probably in good hands. A wave slams into the ship. Some of the men are tossed enough to revisit their breakfast or even dinner. But not every man. Up there at the prow is Lieutenant Thompson, standing tall amid your old first platoon. As the landing craft steadies itself, he steadies with it. Kid's got his sea legs. My focus is on the men. A glance at your map finds things in order. All the objectives are clearly laid out. All you need to do is take them. Captain, we're getting close now. Do you want to say a few words to the men before we hit the beach? Primary objective, an amphibious landing on a hostile shore. Eisenhower knew it was the hardest operation in warfare. Wading ashore under fire, building a secure lodgment beyond the beach, then breaking free to the interior. In the long history of combat, the amphibious art has been mastered by no one. When we land, we will meet German and Italian soldiers whom it is our honor and privilege to attack and destroy. The glory of American arms, the honor of our country, and the future of the whole world rest in your individual hands. See to it that you are worthy. I think this is okay. Give the men a speech. May it unlock battlefield events. You follow Grant out onto the open deck. Your company blows a wad of snot all over you. Grant turns to you and gives a nod. They're all yours. I'll keep this short. Don't worry, I won't take long. Settle in, this might be a while. I'll keep this short. When you hit the beach, remember who you are. Appeal to doctrine and idealism. Zeal and cunning. Don't forget your training. Don't try and be a hero. Remember who you are. You are Cottonbalers. Cottonbalers never lost a war. Remember that, and we'll make it through this. Good luck and Godspeed. Now let's go bag us some IDs. Italians. Italians. Good luck and Godspeed. Some negative events unlocked. Oh, shit. They didn't get it, didn't feel it, and maybe didn't hear it over the damn engines. Never much for speech making, I guess. The rattle of gunfire echoes in the distance off the bow. Fog flashes silver and gold with the ghostly reports of artillery. Slivers of dawn light reveal the silhouette of a coastline ahead. For an instant, the glare of the shell bursts, outlining the faint outline of a hill, a house, and a clump of trees on the top of a cliff. We're at the cliffs. Oh, shit. Lieutenant Wilson grabs Thompson's arm and drags him over to you. Navy's gone off course, just like Colonel Higgis figured they might. Indeed. The cliffs, the insanity. Our situation appears to have changed greatly and none for the better. A new plan is in order. We plan to fight and we win. That hasn't changed. The shore is drawing steadily closer. In 2 minutes, it will be too late to do anything but go ashore. Wilson, there's not much to give. We got to start the fight from wherever we land. We'll invade Sicily from here, then. Can we call for support, though? Get the Navy to hit those cliffs at least. The Navy is supposed to blast the town for at least an hour, which wasn't going to be a problem since it would take at least twice that long to get over there. Let's see. Beach obstacles. Hey. Seize objective Mike. Secure objective Sam. Retain objective Will. Okay. We can't go left unless the Navy shifts fire. The exit draws to the right. That was the original plan. Going over the cliffs is risky, but that's where we are. Or staying on the beach isn't an option. Alright. The original plan was to use the exit draw to get off the beach. Trouble is the Italians know that, but they also know the company landed at the cliffs, and they might have shifted units over to cover that, which might have left a gap. When you look back up again, the shore is that much closer. We get ashore. Some negative events may be avoided. Maybe delays may be reduced. Scaling the cliffs may be easier. Alright. You indicate to the officers that they'll need to reach the beach and figure things out from there. If you can't do that, then you'll have to embark again. Once they all affirm that fact, you send them back to the platoons to do what they can. Seize all objectives. Suffer no more than light casualties. Alright. Shudder ripples through the deck as the bow crunches against the shore. The engines strain for a second to make sure the LCI won't drift free, slewing the ship slightly off to the side. The ramp comes down. Your heart thuds in your chest. Alright. So we have to get over these cliffs here. Here is objective, 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 objective. Is there a main objective? Objective, objective. All right, we got a bunch of objectives. All right, Dearborn goes first. Try and keep my guys all together.
We've got tripwires!
Uh-oh. All right, let's get you up here.
Are we good on the right?
Beach was made for tourists, but that's not why you're here. The cliffs are high, but your men carry the scaling ladders ashore. The draw to the right, which would have been your exit if the Navy hadn't screwed up, is the one way through. For that matter, the beachside town to the left could give your men cover, but the Navy has plans to pulverize it. It ain't good. The Italians got to have something on the cliffs and in the draws and in the town. Very likely they bombard the exit draw. Let's take it up the cliffs. All right. All right, so Dearborn is ashore. Let's get Stern and his machine guns and mortars up. Oh, wow. They can go right up there, but the Navy's going to bombard, so. Let's see. Let's get you up here. Tempted to send them up and over. Let's get you up here. Oh, we just ran right into a mine. That sucks.
Mines!
I guess I can't move anymore. All right. Maybe I shouldn't send my guys up where the Navy's going to start bombarding. I may have just gotten them killed. All right, Thompson. Let's get your men up. I think I may have just left some of Thompson's guys. Yeah. All right. Time for Wilson. Hopefully I didn't get my machine gun squad killed. Do I want to send him around? There's objectives over here, too. And nothing over here, really, except for this. I don't know if I want to send the new guy out in that direction. All right. Captain J, get yourself ashore. Oh, we can still get up there. Let's get one of Wilson's guys up there. Whoops, I forgot about the fucking mines. Whoop. All right.
We're all gonna die!
Shut up, faggot. Surprise from above.
Sparagli! Spara tutti!
All right. If I could take command to do anything about this. Nope. Jay is going to hang out down here because I don't need him stumbling across a mine. Actually, I think I'm going to send him this way. Have him go with these guys. Oh, we still got movement here. All right. Yeah.
Shit!
Well, we got to get up there. Staccato fire 20 millimeter from the sea. Steady drumbeat of gunfire echoes above the waves as the LCI's 20 millimeter cannons pound rounds into the cliffs. Sand is thrashed and tufts of grass. All right. Dearborn, let's get you going up.
Fuoco!
Let's do this recon by fire here. There's something there because they keep shooting at me.
Move it!
Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's quite a few of them over there. Oh. Let's get you up this way. All right. We're discovering enemy left and right and
Fuoco
center.
di soppressione!
All right, let's that's not good. That's not good. None of this is good. Wow, except for that. Let's try and do a little bit of suppression here, see if it does anything at all. I don't think it did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got road over here. MG. Okay, there's that. There's an MG up there too. Let's put some suppressing fire on these guys.
Steady fire.
We took a loss there. Here's our mortars. I don't think we have any line of sight on them. So we gotta get stern up. We gotta get our MG, our other MGs up too. Up into this house. There you go. All right.
L'Italia non può cadere.
MG!
Non fermarti.
Okay. Let's grab Wilson. Have him come up. Have them fire on this unit right here.
Keep up your fire.
Good chance they won't pass through it. I'm going to bring Wilson over. Just Wilson. Have him come over here. Thunder from the west end of the beach. What in God's name is that? First Sergeant Grant squints towards the medieval-looking village. Italian anti-tank gun with a clear shot on the beach. Judging from the trajectory, you might want to clear that bastard out, Captain. You don't need him to spell it out for you. Those enemy armor-piercing shells might kill a single man if he's unlucky. Wow. I'm gonna see, can I rally? Invalid target. Bolster. Here we go.
Duncan, I'm counting on you.
Squad. Squad. Just a squad. All right. Is this the, yeah. All right, so we're going to have to send someone down here to take care of that. Failed weapons range. Blocked line of sight. Blocked line of sight. Okay, now he's out of orders. All right. Damn.
Walker!
Lieutenant Thompson out of action. Well, that was quick. Poor fella. Alright, let's take command. Alright, take command. And take the position.
Shit!
That didn't work. Well, that sucks. Alright, Jay. Let's get you up here. I'm gonna put you in this house here, where you'll have some cover. And then go ahead and shoot.
Well, crap.
Okay. All right. The big naval guns continue to pound the town. The town that you may have to enter soon. Cliffs, exit draw, north exit draw, bunker, north road, north of town, final objective, town, trenches. Okay. They've got their fire plan, Captain, but maybe we can shift their fire somewhere else. Have their fire control coordinator call in some rounds on the Italian trenches in the center, the hills covering the exit draw, or somewhere else that looks juicy. Let's... Let's have them hit the trenches. All right. They only got one order. Too far. Low morale. Fuck. Oh, we can bolster. Let's bolster. I just wiped out all his orders. But we can take command. Too far. Come on, select the squad. Oh, I gotta take command again. Alright, maybe I should have shot at him first. Not good. Got this machine gun here. Let's rally these guys.
The men are waiting.
Take command with J. Fire. Our luck holds out. All right, move up. Get shot at by Germans. All right, let's try and clear out the center here. We got trenches. Well, hopefully the naval gunfire will switch to those trenches. All right, Dearborn. Oh.
Sparagli! Spara a tutti! Eia, eia, alla là! Fuoco di soppressione!
It's not even going to pass the morale check. Alright, and we got to get Stern up so we could start mortaring these guys.
Non fermarti!
Damn.
Sparagli! Spara a tutti!
You can't move up on the cliff there, bud. All right, there we go. Let's get you up. All right. Now we should be able to mortar these guys here. Wilson's the only one with orders left, so... Alright, and then our machine gun. Oh, he's out.
Check your ammo.
There's our leader.
Find a target.
Did we get him? I don't think we got him. He's rallying his guys. I wish I could rally in the middle of the enemy's turn. Oh, they can't even... What? How do they not have it? Oh. It's going to use all of Wilson's orders. .75mm needs to finish. All right, Wilson, come on. Really? Must be fresh. Let's try bolster. Yeah, all right. Bolster. Wilson lost the rest of his orders. All right. Not making very good progress here. The naval rounds begin to land amid the Italian trenches. Let them keep pounding those trenches. Shift fire to the final objective, straight along the north road. Italian bunker to the east. So let them keep hitting the trenches here. All right. All right, so the Navy's going to keep bombing those trenches. We are going to continue to move in on the objective. We will continue this in the next episode. We are, for the most part, moving off the beach. A lot of our guys are really pinned down, which is not good. So we're going to have to do some fancy footwork to get them, get the suppression taken care of on these guys. Anyway, if you like the episode, hit the like button. If you have any thoughts, tips, or advice, leave those in the comment section below. If you want to follow along through Burden of Command, hit the subscribe, and we'll pick this up again in the next episode. J76NY saying thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a very good day.